Did you truly believe you would be arriving, my friend? My mother wore a knowing smile, and I responded, captivating tales from Reddit. My name is Max, and at 24 years old, I have taken on the role of the dependable one in my family. Ah, you recognize the kind, the one who effortlessly transforms into the go to protect troubles, a shoulder to lean on, and a safety net all at once. At the age of 20, I embarked on a journey of independence, stepping into a world of my own. Since then, I've navigated life solo, crafting my path through a steady remote design job, managing my finances, and skillfully sidestepping the tumult that surrounds my family. They have their moments, not always in the shadows, yet when it comes to weaving guilt and subtle manipulation, they could teach a masterclass. Particularly my mother. My mom possesses a certain charm that captivates nearly everyone she meets. A gentle smile, a soothing voice, and that nurturing presence that leads strangers to believe she embodies the essence of love and generosity. And she has the ability to be, whenever it serves her purpose. Yet, when the tides turn against her, that facade slips away swiftly. As I navigated through my formative years, the echoes of her sacrifices were ever present, shaping the narrative of my achievements. Whenever I suggested the idea of pursuing my own path, I was greeted with a chorus of sarcastic remarks, as if to say, "Oh sure, Max, you've got it all figured out, don't you? Oh, let me take a wild guess. You believe you hold a higher ground than the rest of us, don't you?" Yet, I maintained the harmony. I made my presence felt during the holidays, sent thoughtful birthday gifts, and called just frequently enough to steer clear of any reminders about being forgotten. Yet, a transformation began to unfold last year. I've just received a significant promotion. Increased duties, indeed, but also a significant rise in compensation. At the beginning, I kept it to myself. Not because I sought to conceal it. I could already envision the flow of the conversation. My family possesses an uncanny intuition when it comes to matters of finance. As soon as they sense your rise, they begin to hover, much like scavengers, searching for an opportunity to gain from your success. Alas, I faltered. My younger sister, Lena, 19, came to visit for a weekend, and during dinner, she noticed a bank notification pop up on my phone. It was a deposit, a bonus, and it was quite generous indeed. Her eyes sparkled with excitement. In that moment, silence spoke volumes, and I sensed the unspoken words lingering in the air. The wheels of fate were in motion. Throughout the remainder of the weekend, she found herself posing oddly particular inquiries. How has the journey through work been for you lately? Are you being treated with kindness and respect? It must be quite a relief to live without the burden of rent weighing on your mind. Are you still utilizing that budgeting app? I seek assistance with my own. It was understated, yet I sensed the direction it was taking. Sure enough, about a week later, I received a group text from Mom titled, Family Valkyrie 2025. Images accompanied the message, a sun-kissed beach resort, swaying palm trees, and glimpses of itinerary screenshots. The message conveyed a sentiment akin to, "It has been ages since we embarked on a grand family adventure. It's time to weave new tales once more. I've stumbled upon a fantastic opportunity that awaits us if we secure our booking by next week." I gazed. After a thoughtful pause of a good 10 minutes, a response finally emerged. For you see, the twist in the tale is that there was absolutely no doubt. "No, would you care to join in? Could you lend us your hand in bringing this vision to life?" It was unveiled as a foregone conclusion. I scrolled up and beheld my. "The name is already included in room 2, Max." I responded with a straightforward, "Looks nice. Who is footing the bill for all of this?" Mom replied with remarkable swiftness. "We were considering if you might take care of it. You've been shining brightly as of late. It would hold great significance for the family." Ah, the red heart, a symbol of something profound. Now let me share a little insight. I had the means to acquire it. It wasn't a simple task, yet I could have rearranged a few things. Yet that was not the essence. There existed no dialogue, no strategizing, merely a presumption that due to my diligence and effort, I was now beholden to grant them a lavish getaway. I chose not to respond. Not just yet. Summon the voices. Once upon a time, there was Lena. Oh, come now, Max, let's not go down that road. It seems like the days of family adventures have slipped away from us. We're not exactly requesting a journey to the City of Light. Then, Mother, you often express a desire for us to be close, yet when we attempt to share moments together, you seem to vanish into thin air. Then my aunt, who somehow got pulled into the mix, left me a voicemail about family is the essence of life, a treasure that outshines the fleeting nature of wealth, for it is the memories we create that endure through time. Following a few days of this, I composed a composed and straightforward message. While I value the sentiment, I cannot cover the entire cost of the journey. If you all wish to embark on an adventure together, we can craft a plan that is both sensible and allows us to share the expenses. Simply the truth, without any embellishments. That didn't quite land as intended. Mom reached out and unleashed a wave of guilt. I held you close for 9 months, my dear. I sacrificed so much for you. And this is how you show your gratitude to me? Embarking on a small adventure? Your sister hasn't even crossed your mind. She remains in the bloom of youth. She is worthy of a little joy. Or are you simply beyond our reach now? Though the urge to let out a cry surged within me, I held it back. I simply declared I'm not going to pay. And so, the tale comes to a close. Quietude for a few days. Then, a notification arrived, revealing that a charge had made its way onto my credit card. A grand tale indeed. More than 2,000. Initially, I believed it to be a deception. I reached out to the bank. They claimed it was for airline tickets. 3 of them. In my name. I sat there, awestruck. Then, I reached out to the airline to inquire about the itinerary. It aligned perfectly with the dates from my mother's travel itinerary. Identical airport. Identical endpoint. I inquired about who made the arrangements for them. They uttered the name. Elaine Myers, my mother. I reached out to her. She lifted herself as if the world around her was untouched by trouble. Max, prepared to be enchanted by the hotel. Behold the vast expanse of the ocean, where every detail unfolds like a tale waiting to be told. You utilized my card. She truly let out a laugh. Indeed, I found it essential to secure the reservation. In time, we would find a way to repay you. Not at all, Mom. You took my card information. Oh, let's not indulge in theatrics. That was the moment something within me shattered. I did not raise my voice. I chose not to engage in a dispute. I simply replied with a casual, "Cool," and then ended the call. With a swift motion, I opened my banking app, reversed the charges, canceled my card, and set the wheels in motion for a new one to arrive. I reached out to the airline and had the tickets marked as fraudulent. That segment proved to be quite a challenge. They had me leaping through a series of challenges. But in due time, the truth revealed itself to me. The tickets were cancelled. Regrettably, a refund cannot be processed as this fare is non-refundable. Unfortunate twist of fate. I remained silent. I simply bided my time. As the clock ticked away, a full hour passed before my phone chimed with a call. It was Lena. Have you gone ahead and cancelled the tickets? I remained silent. Surely you must be jesting? We were in the midst of packing our belongings. Silence lingers. Then, the call from Mom came through. This time, her voice lacked the usual sweetness and charm. Her voice was filled with rage. Did you truly believe you would be arriving, or was that just a fleeting thought? She uttered, her voice laced with disdain. You no longer belong to this family. A smile graced my lips. Intriguing. I spoke and then ended the call once more. Yet, that was merely the beginning of a much larger tale. 2 days later, a letter arrived from my mom's lawyer, or at least from someone masquerading as one. The letter asserted that I had engaged in financial interference and inflicted unnecessary emotional turmoil by reversing the charges and canceling the trip. And that was the moment when everything took a thrilling turn. In the beginning, a chuckle escaped me. Well, how could I possibly resist? A letter, you say? From an alleged attorney? It was inscribed on unadorned white paper, devoid of letterhead or credentials, brimming with dramatic expressions such as failure to comply and familial negligence. The name of the sender at the bottom read James T. Reynolds, ESQ, evoking the essence of a character straight out of a 90s courtroom drama. I embarked on a swift quest for knowledge. Without a law license, without a firm, and without an online presence. Nothing at all. Unless my mom had unearthed some bargain legal service from a cereal box promotion, this lawyer was as genuine as a soap opera plot twist. Yet, it stirred something within me. Not due to my belief in its reality, but rather because she was prepared to venture that far, that quickly. I began to ponder, what was the true essence of this all? Was it merely about the journey? Or had I, in some way, transformed into the embodiment of all that she despised? The one who broke free. The one who had moved on, leaving her behind. The following days unfolded in a hushed manner, steeped in an unsettling, suspenseful atmosphere reminiscent of a gripping film. As if time itself holds its breath, a hush envelopes the world, the air thick with anticipation, just before the tempest breaks. It was unusual for me not to hear from my mom or Lena. Silence reigns, no calls to break the stillness. No texts. Not a single hint of passive-aggressive, hope you're okay messages. I ought to have relished the tranquility, yet I found myself feeling as though I were poised upon a treacherous minefield. Then arrived the gathering of voices in the digital realm. As I stood at the sink, toothbrush in hand, my phone erupted with a flurry of notifications, each buzz echoing like the triumphant chime of a slot machine scoring big. I unveiled it. Once upon a time, the group chat blossomed into a lively gathering of 8 individuals. It wasn't just Mom and Lena. There was also my cousin Jake, my Aunt Marcia, my Uncle Greg, and a couple of unfamiliar faces that took me a moment to place. It seems that whispers had traveled far and wide, and they were all quite troubled by my unpredictable actions. Marcia was the first to share her thoughts. Max, dear, we understand that your mother can be a bit overwhelming at times, yet this moment held the potential to be truly wonderful for all involved. Why let it all unravel over money? So, Jake, you went ahead and reversed the charges? Is that really the case? Why couldn't you have simply uttered a no? My favorite message came from Greg, a voice from 3 years past. His words, honestly, echo with the weight of unaddressed bitterness. Perhaps seeking guidance through therapy could be beneficial. Healing journey. For the simple reason that I wished to avoid being deceived out of several $1,000s. I began to weave my response into words. It has been removed. Once more, the keys danced beneath my fingers. It has been removed. I found myself uncertain of what echoes might arise in response. At long last, I put pen to paper. This journey was not one I chose to embark upon. I firmly declined, again and again. The tickets were secured using the details from my pilfered card. I took action to reverse a fraudulent charge. What you might see as blowing things up, I simply view as establishing my boundaries. If you're unable to perceive that, then perhaps we all could benefit from a bit of distance. And then I departed from the gathering. 15 seconds later, a message from Lena appeared on my screen. So, you're actually going through with this, are you? I chose silence. Yet another arrived. From the very beginning, you held a special place in everyone's heart. Mom stretched herself to the limit for you. Just one small thing, and you behave as if we owe you everything. The cherished one. That was abundant. I reflected on the evenings I spent at home, watching over things while Lena enjoyed her nights out, or the moments I put in extra hours just to help with her phone bill, or the time I couldn't attend my college graduation because Mom fell ill and couldn't drive. Just sharing snapshots from a delightful wine-tasting adventure an hour away. It was perpetually the same tale. Max, embrace the spirit of collaboration. Max, let's focus on the bigger picture here. Max, we are bound by the ties of family. It was only when I began to refuse that things changed. But this is where the tale took an unexpected twist. A genuine, gut-wrenching twist. The following day, my manager reached out to me on Slack. Laid back. Greetings. Might we share a few moments of conversation? I assumed it was something to do with the project, so I hopped onto the video call, coffee in hand, only half paying attention. Yet, her expression held an oddly grave demeanor. Greetings, Max? I felt it was important to share a little insight with you. This morning, an email found its way to us. I stood still, caught in a moment of disbelief. From whom? She appeared to be in a state of unease. A person asserting their connection as a relative. They claimed you were involved in deceit. It was suggested that we remain vigilant and exercise caution in sharing sensitive information with you. They even included images that appeared to be a police report. I blinked. What is it that you seek? She took a moment to gather her thoughts. Fear not. We understand it may seem absurd. Yet I felt it necessary to bring it to HR's attention, just to ensure we were protected. I shared with them that it was clearly personal, but I felt it was important for you to be aware of what's happening. After the call, I found myself lingering in silence. Utterly motionless. Not a trace of anger stirred within me. Not quite there yet. Merely a void of feeling. This had transcended the mere pursuit of wealth. This was a tale of defamation. A narrative woven with threads of manipulation. Mom, feeling thwarted in her desires, chose to exact her revenge on me in the most spiteful manner imaginable. By portraying me as perilous, unpredictable, and unreliable. What truly sent a chill down my spine wasn't the HR notice or the foolish email. It was remarkable how quickly she rose to prominence. As I lifted the lid of my inbox, a world of messages awaited me. Looked for anything related to my mom's name. And there it stood, a sight to behold. A message dispatched 2 hours prior. Subject line. You provided us with no alternatives. There existed connections. Images capturing written messages. Completely disconnected from the narrative. A faded snapshot of a moment 3 years past, capturing me at a bar, laughter spilling forth as I hold a drink in hand. A document that appears contrived, featuring the phrase, formal statement, prominently displayed in bold at the top. And the message was brief. Only a single line. Every choice we make carries weight, Max. In due time, all will be revealed. My heart raced with fervor. Not out of fear. Yet there lies a profound essence beneath the surface. Something more intense. For years I had kept my words locked away, hidden from the world. Maintaining my space. Endeavoring to embody the ideal son. I had let go of more than I ought to have. Endured what I would never recommend to a companion to endure. Yet in this moment, chaos reigned supreme. And I wasn't about to stand by and let her attempt to set my world ablaze. Not this moment. That night, sleep eluded me. I made an effort. Recline in your sanctuary of rest. Awakened gaze. gazing up at the ceiling. Yet, my mind refused to quiet down. It whirled through recollections like a film racing ahead, each moment flashing by in a blur. Celebrations filled with laughter, yet I found myself on the receiving end of reprimands for my reluctance to share. In the stillness of the night, heated discussions unfolded, revolving around the ever-pressing topic of finances. In the kitchen, my mom's tears flowed freely, a poignant scene unfolding after Lena's unfortunate mishap with my car, accusing me of not keeping a closer eye on her. It was all unfolding in a continuous cycle now, transformed by that one email. In due time, the truth will unfold before your eyes. She had ventured beyond the boundaries. She had ignited the entire map in flames. As dawn broke, a vision began to take shape in my mind. Not retribution. Not at this moment. That chapter would unfold in due time. Initially, I found it essential to shield myself. I began my journey by reaching out to the HR team at my company. I shared the situation with greater depth than I had with my manager. I shared my concerns, expressing that I believed there might be a personal grudge at play, with someone from my family possibly posing as me or sending emails filled with deceitful accusations. Fortunately, HR showed great understanding. One of the representatives, Dana, remarked, "We've encountered situations like this in the past. Family can weave. Chaotic." They meticulously recorded every detail and promised me they would screen any future emails from my mom's address or anything akin to it. Next, I reached out to my bank once more. I verified that the earlier reversal had been successfully completed. However, I also requested that they prevent any future charges from the airline or the travel agency that Mom had utilized, just to be safe. Then I journeyed through each and every online account I possessed, transforming passwords, activating two-factor authentication, and securing everything that might be wielded against me. Ah, the tale of Venmo. Once upon a time, there was a platform known as PayPal. Even my old Facebook account. In a moment of decision, I chose to delete the email from my mom. Yet, I couldn't resist the urge to preserve every attachment and capture the essence of her words through screenshots before letting it go. Just in case. As the clock struck noon, a new surprise awaited me. A gentle rap upon my door. Not a gentle, courteous one. It is not a package delivery. This was the kind of knock that whispered secrets of presence, a knowing tap that echoed through the silence, as if to say, "I see you hidden within." I peered through the peephole. It was Lena. Isolated. I lingered in anticipation. In just 5 fleeting seconds. Once upon a time, there was a number, 10. Then, with a careful hand, it was opened just enough to allow a curious glance outside. "May I enter?" She spoke. "Greetings, none?" No smile. "What is it that you seek?" With a soft exhale, she let her breath escape. "To share a tale. Only 5 minutes. Kindly." Despite my reservations, I welcomed her inside. Her eyes carried the weight of sleepless nights, a weariness that spoke volumes without uttering a word. Her eyes bore the marks of a long night, smudged mascara framing a gaze that held stories untold. The ponytail atop her head seemed to have been hastily tied days ago, a testament to the whirlwind of life that had swept her along, untouched and unkempt since that moment. Yet the glance she cast my way held no hint of remorse. The chill in the air was palpable. She perched on the edge of my couch, exuding an air of ownership as if the space were hers alone. "I didn't know she was going to go that far," she said finally. "The message regarding your employment. The entire charade of the faux attorney. That wasn't how the tale was meant to unfold. Craft a vision." I inquired. She recoiled. "Very well." Through the careful selection of words. "I simply intended. Mother suggested that with a touch of persuasion, perhaps you'd see things differently." Secure the tickets, and let's chalk it up to a simple mix-up. You're aware of her nature. Indeed. I do. Yet you chose to call them off. And in that moment, she broke free. I folded my arms. So, you journeyed all this way just to share that with me? Lena's lips pressed together, a silent tension brewing within her. Absolutely not. I have come to share a caution with you. That took me by surprise. She finds herself in conversation with Aunt Dana at this very moment. And there was Uncle Fred. She's unleashing her strongest arguments, attempting to persuade them that you're severing ties with everyone, withdrawing into solitude. She will weave a tale that turns the entire family against you. Once, I found myself in a moment of laughter. The ship has set sail. Not at all, Max. You just don't understand. She claims you're not quite steady. It seems you might be experiencing a challenging moment in your mind. She mentioned father. I tensed. Our father passed away during our childhood. A collision on the road. In the years that followed, my mom wove a tale that painted him as he had always been. Once upon a time, in a world where the ordinary met the extraordinary, there was a moment that whispered, off. A simple word, yet it held the power to change everything. Melancholic. Filled with unease. Untrustworthy. She never uttered the term, but the implication lingered in the air, unspoken yet understood. And now she was weaving that same tale on me. She shared with Aunt Dana that you've been caught in a whirlwind. It was mentioned that the uncertainty of your job might be weighing heavily on you, and perhaps that's why you're expressing your frustrations so intensely. And you truly hold that belief? I inquired. Lena paused, caught in a moment of uncertainty. No, she replied. Yet, the moment had slipped away. Her pause had already spoken to me. So, you've arrived to deliver a warning, have you? I spoke. Or did you arrive to witness if I would break? She rose to her feet. I arrived here because her presence can be quite intimidating in moments like these. You fail to notice it, for you sever ties whenever challenges arise. Yet I share my life with her, Max. In the wake of what has transpired, I find myself navigating the consequences. And this time, her fury is not merely a fleeting emotion, it has transformed into a relentless quest. As I turned the handle and pushed the door ajar, a world of possibilities awaited beyond the threshold. Perhaps the moment has come for you to part ways with her. Lena remained still. Eventually, she'll turn on you as well, I added. Surely, you are aware of that, aren't you? Her gaze danced with a spark. She remained silent. When she finally departed, she chose neither to slam the door nor to raise her voice in anger. She gracefully stepped out and slipped into her car. She vanished from my life, leaving only silence in her wake. But what of the week that follows? That was the moment when everything began to come apart at the seams. It all began with my landlord. Hey, Max, his voicemail said, an unusual occurrence. Your mother reached out to the office this morning. She mentioned that she was your emergency contact and requested a copy of your lease agreement. She mentioned that you were facing eviction and that she would be there to assist you with the move. I informed her that it wasn't true, clearly, but just a heads up. Then my bank returned once more. A fresh endeavor to establish a shared checking account, with her name now intertwined with mine. Then, one of my friends, Alex, sent me a message saying, Bro, your mom just added me on Facebook. She has been weaving tales for me. Inquired whether I've observed any shifts in your demeanor. I chose to remain silent. I had no reason to. It was in that moment that the realization struck me. She had moved beyond mere punishment. She sought to reshape my narrative. To depict this version of Max as unreliable, paranoid, and vindictive. To weave a narrative that would persuade all those around her that she was the one wrong. and I was the source of the trouble. It was a classic tale. Should she find herself unable to tame the true essence of who I am, she would conjure a new version, one crafted to be shared with the world at large. Yet, what remained a mystery to her, what still eludes her grasp, is that I had been chronicling every moment. Each communication. Each message. Each effort to meddle in my work, my living situation, my financial matters. Each name she pulled into the tale. Each deception she wove. I had stepped beyond mere defense. I was preparing to make my move. For the following 2 weeks, I embarked on a journey I never imagined I would take. I sought legal counsel. Once upon a time, there was a man named Trent. Unassuming. Not forceful. But keen as a blade and composed like a healer. He focused on navigating the intricate realms of family legal disputes, addressing harassment, and tackling the challenges of digital defamation. Following our initial encounter, I shared with him the complete digital dossier I had meticulously assembled. Messages, notes, recorded voices, snapshots from social platforms, and even the fabricated attorney correspondence. He was taken aback by the level of organization I displayed. "Max," he said, as he sifted through the folder, "this isn't merely a tale of trivial conflicts. This is a deliberate act of harassment. Should she reach out to your employer with deceptive intentions, it could swiftly venture into the realm of legality." In that moment, everything changed. I submitted a request for a cease and desist. The letter unfolded with clarity, presenting the facts in a straightforward manner, devoid of any emotional embellishments. It recounted particular episodes of impersonation, financial deceit, attempts at defamation, and harassment. It was also made clear that any future attempts to reach out to me, my employer, my landlord, or my friends would result in escalation, including the possibility of civil suits for damages and defamation. The letter was sent forth. In a formal sense. Registered correspondence. 3 days later. In the stillness, a profound quiet envelopes the surroundings. Then, like a flickering flame bursting forth in a final blaze, my mom called. I remained silent, naturally. The voicemail was cold and deliberate, as if she were reciting lines from a carefully crafted script. "I received your letter. I guess this is the person you have become. It evokes a deep sense of sorrow. Once upon a time, you were a truly delightful young lad. One day, I trust you will come to realize the impact of your actions on this family." With a swift motion, the sound echoed in the silence. And that was the end of the tale. None offered. There is a lack of introspection. Merely a tale of guilt cloaked in the guise of victimhood. I severed the connection with her number. A week later, it was transformed. All my passwords have been updated. A credit freeze has been placed. I decided to cut ties and remove every single family member from my social media accounts. I even requested HR to establish a gatekeeper flag, ensuring that any external communication bearing my name would reach me first. They were eager to oblige. "What about Lena?" 2 months later, a message arrived from a new number. It was brief. "You were correct." She pivoted towards me. I chose to remain silent. Not out of malice. Only tranquility. True tranquility. The sensation that washes over you when you finally extinguish the last flicker of a fire that should have been left to blaze long ago. Ultimately, Mom's dream of a tropical vacation slipped away. She found herself without her money, her leverage, or her control. What she received was a silence that echoed more profoundly than any words of remorse I could have offered, accompanied by the chilling understanding that her attempts to sway me had lost their power. I chose not to simply walk away. I closed the door behind me. For the betterment of all. Let me share with you, the air feels remarkably fresher on the other side.